Hello, welcome to the Day Tradestor. And we're looking at our S&P 500 chart by way of SPX, and we're waiting for the information from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. The news just came out that he is going to cut the interest rates by a quarter of a point, and the market's barely moved on that information. I've only been trading a little over 3 years now, and every time there's been an FOMC report, the markets, both right before the report was announced and definitely after, markets were acting crazy. Up, down, and all around. But right now, markets haven't done anything. So now we're expecting and we're waiting to see what Jerome Powell has to say in the press conference at 2:30, and maybe from what he says in the press conference will drive the markets one direction or another. But at this point, the markets are barely moving. They barely moved at all. Most things didn't even move at all in reference to the stocks that I own. They're pretty much where they were right before he gave the announcement, or that the information was released about the quarter point reduction. So I'm looking forward to 2:30, which is 10 minutes from now. But at any rate, it's time to see what we received on our sell alerts this morning and what I might be able to sell or place a sell order on. And the first stock I'm going to take a look at is United Airlines. UAL. So I'm going to zoom in here, take a closer look at United Airlines, see what we've got. We had price, not just price, but the fast moving average crossed below both the slow moving average and the fast moving average for the price, and the fast moving average crossed below the slow moving average yesterday. And it does not matter what the next day's candle, which is today, does after we get the trigger for the price of the fast moving average following dropping below the slow moving average. I look to sell anything I have that I can at a profit, and if I'm unable to sell at a profit, I place sell orders on them. So right now I'm going to be placing a sell order because I first time purchasing United Airlines, purchased 4 shares at $101, and that was based on an earnings. They gave a pretty good earnings report. They gave a strong forecast for the fourth quarter for their projections of revenue. So I took the earnings information and I took this brand new cross that we just crossed over the slow moving average. And I bought my first 4 shares of United Airlines since I've been trading, but since then they've been slowly going down. So now I will be placing a sell order on the other 3 shares of United Airlines. I need to come in here and I need all my account positions. So United Airlines, right click. All right, I'm looking to sell 3 shares. And I purchased them at $101.71. So I take 10% of the digit, the first digit in the hundreds place. So 10% of 100 is 10 cents. I'm going to add 10 cents to 101.71 and make it 101.81. $101.81. Good till cancel and confirm and send. So now we got all 4 shares sitting in a sell order. Next on the list is Johnson & Johnson, JNJ. Zoom in, see what we've got. Now, we clearly have price moving down. It's been moving down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days now. Yesterday, we had price move below the slow moving average and close. And today we have a continuation of that move. So we're looking to sell 1 book of Johnson & Johnson. And for Johnson & Johnson, I max out with 1 share for each book. So I've got 4 shares. I currently have a limit order for 1 of those. 1 is already in our active trader. Come down here looking to sell at 185.79. So the 185.83, I bought at 168.39. I do have 2 other shares that I bought at 193, but for my accounting, I'm selling the one that I bought at 168.93. So we'll round everything down, and that's roughly $18 of realized earnings or realized gains on that sale. Monster Energy Drink is the next one, MNST. I just sold some Lamb Research in my day trading strategy. All right, for Monster Energy Drink, we had price move down and close below our fast moving average. We have a continuation of that move. Even though it's now lower than the slow moving average, we're only selling on the cross and close below the fast moving average. with this continuation candle, and for that move, we're looking to sell one book. I maxed out at 12 shares with Monster Energy, and that makes 3 shares for each book. So we're looking to sell 3 shares. And let's see if I'm able to sell at a profit. I bought 12 shares at $65.19, so I will be able to sell these at a profit. We're just going to round those to $1. So we're looking at roughly a $3 realized earnings. Now, those are the only stocks I had to look at for today's, but we did have one that we received the sell alert on yesterday that we didn't do anything with, so that's Datadog. Datadog's an online security. So we did have price. Well, actually, we had the fast moving average fall below the slow moving average. And right now, the average is leveled out. But anytime I have the price of the fast moving average move below the slow moving average, and we have a continuing candle on that cross the following day that keeps price below the slow moving average, I look to sell or put sell orders on everything that I have. And for Datadog, I bought all of the shares at a higher price than the current price right now. I already have one book sitting in a sell order. I max out with 4 shares, 1 share for each book. So I'm looking to place 3 shares, and I bought 3 shares at $161.99. So find Datadog on my watch list, right click. We're looking to sell 3 shares, placing a sell order. For 3 shares, I said at $161.99. I take the first place digit of 100. 10% of that is 10. So I'm going to add 10 cents to $161.99, make it $162.09. $162.09. Good till cancel extended hours, confirm and send. Now all 4 shares are sitting in a sell order. Now I do have a lot of stocks that I need to either put sell orders on because price is definitely lower than my purchase price. And I need to put those on for that reason. No sense in looking at all of them. And I also have some sell orders that I need to remove sell orders because price has moved up on those particular stocks. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 3 of each. That way you get to see, if you're new to my videos, you get to see my reasoning, rationale, and my explanation on why I am adding sell orders or removing sell orders, whatever the case may be. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to do 3 stocks where I have to remove sell orders. And the first thing I'm going to look at is Now. That's ServiceNow, N-O-W. And the reason I am removing a sell order is because the fast moving average is currently above the slow moving average. And when this is the actual situation, I do not want to have all of my shares having sell orders anytime that I actually have a cross. I only want 1 book sitting in a sell order, so we're going to remove one of them, even though we have a big long red candle today. And it also happens to be that they are going to earnings this afternoon. So we're going to remove one of the sell orders. We're going to remove the more expensive one. So now I have a sell order for 2 reasons. One, in case price comes up and it hits my day trading stock, but the other in case price spikes up before it goes on a downward trend due to bad earnings releases or earnings report or a bad forecast. The next stock we are probably going to be removing a sell order is for Sherwin-Williams, SHW. I currently have 4 shares, and all 4 shares are sitting in sell orders. They had a good earnings report yesterday, so you can see that price moved up on that news, even though we have a candle that gapped down and is moving down for the duration of today. We still have the fast moving average crossed yesterday above the slow moving average, and today's candle kept it above the slow moving average. So I only want to have 1 book sitting here with a sell order waiting for it to be triggered and sold, and then that stock would become a day trading stock. So I'm looking to cancel the more expensive sell orders. And now we only have one sell order sitting in here because I maxed out with Sherwin-Williams with 1 share for each book. And the last one I'm going to take a look at is an ETF XLY. And XLY is for consumer discretionary. Again, we had the fast-moving average moving back above the slow-moving average and staying above that on the next day after it crossed. So I want to remove all but one book. I max out on XLY with 1 share for each book. So we're going to cancel the most expensive. Well, they're both the same purchase price. All right, I've gone through my list and I've taken care of all the other stocks that I had to remove sell orders. So now I'll show you 3 stocks that I need to put sell orders on. And the first one I'm going to take a look at is Boston Scientific, which is BSX. And we are putting a sell order on Boston Scientific because we had price move down below the fast moving average yesterday, and we have a continuing candle today. So on this move, we're looking to place 1 book and a sell order. I max out with BSX at 8 shares, and that's 2 shares a book. We already have 1 sitting in a sell order, so I'm going to come down to 2, and we're placing a sell order. I purchased BSX at $107.59. So BSX, right click, sell. I'm placing two shares in a sell order. Go to the first digit, which is a 1 in the hundreds place. So 10% of that is 10. I'm placing 10 cents on my 107.59 to make the sell order $107.69. $107.69. Good to cancel extended hours, confirm and send. Now, if you're watching my video for the first time or you've only seen a few and you don't know which trading platform this is Thinkorswim. Hilton is the next one that I have to take a look at and place some sell orders. So Hilton. We had yesterday, price moved down below and closed lower than the fast moving average. And we have a continuation of that move, even though it's a green candle. It's a good doji candle, but it is lower than the close of yesterday's candle. Now, you'll notice that it also crossed the slow moving average on the same day that it crossed the fast moving average. However, when we have price moving and closing below both the averages on the same day, I only sell for one of the crosses. Then tomorrow, if we still have a continuation candle and it's lower than the close of this candle, I'll sell a book for that one, for that particular cross. So each cross is its own sell for that particular day. Now I bought 3 shares at $277.51. That's significantly higher than where we are now. Well, I said significantly. It's not significantly higher. So I have to come over here, find Hilton in my Thinkorswim trading platform watch list. We're looking to sell 1 order, and I bought Hilton, as I said, $277.51. So 2 is in the hundreds place, so 10% of 200 is 20. So I'm adding 20 cents to $277.51 and making it $277.71. $277.71 is the sell order for 1 share of Hilton. Now tomorrow, if we come in and we take a look and price is again lower than the close of this candle, then we will look to sell put a sell order on 1 book due to the crossing and closing below the slow moving average. So the last share that I'm going to do on video is Kraft Heinz. That's KHC. And it's going to be because yesterday, we had the fast moving average cross below the slow moving average. It did cross for 1 day. That was it. It crossed the same day and then it dropped down today. So actually it didn't cross down yesterday. It didn't cross below the slow moving average. It actually crossed above the slow moving average yesterday. This candle was such a big move that it happened to just pull it back down. But I don't need to wait to see if we're going to get a continuing candle because Kraft Heinz did not have a good forecast for their 4th quarter. So I'm just going to go ahead and place a sell order on all the shares that I own right now. I own 4 shares. So we're going to come in here, Kraft Heinz, right click, and all 4 shares I bought at a higher price. And 4 shares for Kraft Heinz is actually only 1 book because when I maxed out for Kraft, I like to have 16 shares. So we're looking to sell 4 shares, sell 4, which is one book. And I bought those at, where is my Kraft Heinz? At 31.54. So I go to the first place digit of a 3, not the 2, because I bought it at 31. And 10% of 30 is 3 cents. I'm going to add to 31.54, make it 31.57. $31.57 is my sell order. Good till cancel extended hours for the good old ketchup and mustard and whatever else Kraft Heinz sells. All right, so now that I have taken care off video all of the stocks that I needed to put sell orders on or take sell orders off, those will be shown later in my complete actions list later in the video. I now am going to take a look at the stocks that I have going to earnings. So I want to go to Market Watch and come to my calendar. Well, might as well go back to visualize. You can see, so today there's a lot of red today. And there's some green spattered throughout, but largely most of the stocks are going down today. Now, taking a look at our calendar, we want all current account positions, and I only want my earnings. So I have Chipotle, ServiceNow, as I said, and then I have some other stocks. So I will do this off of video, make my list of what I need to do. Okay, I've got my list. I need to take a look at Chipotle Mexican Grill, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Starbucks, and Teladoc. And I'm either going to be selling or I'm going to be placing sell or turning on or off sell orders for these stocks that are going to earnings this afternoon as well. Not only do I have this afternoon to take care of, I also have tomorrow morning. So I also have Cardinal Health, L3 Harris, and we have Eli Lilly is right here. Then we have LNG, and we have Merck, and then I have Roblox. So altogether, I've got 8 stocks going to earnings between this afternoon and tomorrow morning. And that hopefully we'll be able to sell some stocks at a profit as we reduce our holdings, as I de-risk. So the first one I'm going to take a look at is Chipotle Mexican Grill. And now I know for that one, I'm just going to cancel the sell order, because for Chipotle Mexican Grill, I like to have 200 shares. Or at least I used to. I might change that and drop that down, but right now that would be 50 shares for each book. So this is actually just one book. So I'm just going to cancel that. And now we're going to move on to Google. That is GOOG. Currently I have 8 shares. So I am currently maxed out with 8 shares, and any point in which I have a stock going to earnings, I would like to sell half of the shares or half of the books if I have an even number of books. If I do not have an even number of books out of 4 books, that means I would only have 3, so I would only sell 1 book. I would err on the side of having more books, more shares in my possession and in holdings in case the price does move up. But I do like to de-risk by getting rid of up to half of the shares that I own. So we'll zoom in, take a closer look. And for Google, as I said, I've got 8 shares. The current price is $273.55. So I believe it is higher than all of my purchase prices. So half of the shares, half of the books is 4. So I'm looking to sell 4 shares at $273.50, hopefully. Okay, $273.52. The next stock is Meta, M-E-T-A, Meta Platforms. With Meta, I currently have 4 positions, and I am maxed out with 1 share per book. And currently, the price is at $748.32, and that is only higher than one of my shares. I purchased that at $741.42. So we will sell that share right now. See what that goes for. So $747, we'll say that's a $6 profit. Oh, and on Google, that was roughly a $20 of realized gains. And what did I say this was? This was just from $748 to $741, $7 profit. So total 27 additional realized gains there. Now this limit order is the least expensive stock that I've purchased, but that's closest to the current price. So that I'm going to leave that. This was actually my day trading book that I was using to day trade, but we'll just leave that in just in case Meta spikes up before it turns down, if indeed it does go down due to the earnings reports. Next stock up is Microsoft, MSFT. Now with Microsoft, I currently have 2 shares. Now I only have half of the books or half of the shares. I would max out at 4 shares, but since I have an even number, I'll be able to sell 1 book if I'm able to. And Microsoft, I purchased at $543 and $545, so I will not be able to sell. This is the least expensive share that I've owned, and that was sitting here for my day trading purposes. So we'll just leave that there just in case again. I like to de-risk. Let's zoom in here, just in case Microsoft has bad earnings and price spikes up before turning down. At least it'll capture this, and we'll have $500 back into our overall balance in my account. So the next one I'm going to take a look at, we have Starbucks also going to earnings this afternoon, SBUX. SBUX, try this again. Now for Starbucks, I only have 2 shares, which is 1 book, so we'll just cancel that order. I do not try to sell, and I do not want the order sitting there just in case Starbucks has an absolute blowout earnings report and it spikes all the way up and then moves beyond where that sell order sits. It would trigger that sell, and I would miss those gains. So all I do is just cancel that 1 sell order. Teladoc, I believe, is the same thing. I only have 1 book, so I'll be doing the same thing there with Teladoc. With Teladoc, when I'm maxed out, I would have 64 shares. Right now, I only have 16, which is 16 shares for each book. So just canceling that sell order just in case Teladoc has an amazing earnings report, an amazing forecast, and price moves up beyond that. So now that's all of the stocks that I have going to earnings this afternoon. So now I'm on tomorrow's list. And the first one for tomorrow morning is Eli Lilly. And I know I only have 3 shares, and that's 3 books, so that's 1 share for each book. So I will be canceling 2 sell orders. Again, if I only have an odd number, which is typically going to be 3, if I only have 1, then I just cancel that. Now, if I have 3, again, I cancel only 1 book. Excuse me, I misspoke. I want to sell or place a sell order for just 1 book. I want the other 2 books sitting just in case price goes the way I want it to go. Being a mostly longs trader or investor, I want it to go up. So I want to have 2 shares out of the 3 books waiting to capture those gains. So we're going to cancel 2 of our orders. So the most expensive is $975, and the next expensive is $935. So I leave 1 book just in case price spikes up before turning back down. But if it does turn around, if Eli Lilly has great earnings and price moves and captures this, then I've made a little bit. I've made 90 cents on the sell of that 1 share, and then we'll keep collecting gains as price continues to move up for the other 2 books or other 2 shares that I own. Next stock going to earnings tomorrow morning is Roblox, RBLX. Now for Roblox, I like to have 4 shares per book. I currently only have 3, so somehow I accidentally either bought only 3 or I accidentally sold 1, and I'm only down to 3, so I only have 1 book, so we just cancel that 1 book. Anytime I have 1 book, again, anytime I have only 1 book, I just cancel that order because I want to be holding shares during and through earnings, so at least I capture some of that move. The only thing I'm doing right now is de-risking. I don't want to sell out completely. Next is Cardinal Health, which is CAH. For Cardinal Health, I currently have 4 shares, and I max out with 4. That's 1 share for each book. So hopefully I will be able to sell something at a profit. Current price, let's zoom in here. Current price is $163.79. We could read that up here, $163.79 as well. I have one share that I bought at $168.25, but I do have two that I purchased at $154.29. So we'll be looking, I'm looking to sell two shares. One, bump that up to two at $163.83. So from 163 to 154, that's $9. So we'll say $18 of realized gains on that sale. Now I'm leaving this on. This is my day trading share, but sometime this afternoon I will remove this before tomorrow morning or early tomorrow morning. You know, price may spike up between now and the close of day, which is in roughly 30 more minutes, and I may be able to sell that at a profit and then buy back in if price drops before the close of day as well. So L3 Harris is LHX, and for LHX I currently only have one share. So what do I do when I only have one share? All I do is cancel it, because I want to be able to take advantage of the move if indeed it's a great earnings and it moves up. So LNG is the next one. So I've got this and then one more after LNG that's going to earnings tomorrow. LNG is, it's a good distance away from my purchase price. I've got 4 shares. They're all sitting in a sell order. So all I'm going to do is cancel 2, because I want to cancel half of the books or half of the shares I own. And I'm maxed out with LNG with 1 share per book. So we're going to cancel this one. That's the most expensive. And then we'll cancel the second most expensive. Well, all 3 of those were bought at the same price. So now I have 2 sitting here just in case price spikes up and then turns back down. And the last one we're going to take a look at is Merck, MRK. I currently only have 1 share. So all I do is just cancel that. So now everything for earnings has been taken care of. Both today's earnings, which is this afternoon in roughly another 30 minutes, and tomorrow morning's earnings. All right, now that's everything on the sell side. That's everything from my sell orders. It's everything on the triggers and the alerts for the sell side. And it's everything in reference to the earnings that I was able to sell some and make a small profit on those. And I also place sell orders on those. So the sell side is done. Now it's time to buy some stocks. I've got 4,000, roughly 4,500. However, 2,200 of that needs to be set aside for day trading, for the stocks that I day trade in case the price bottoms out and I could buy back in. So $2,200 is roughly all I have to purchase some stocks for the remainder of the day. Now the first stock I'm going to look at is NVIDIA, NVDA. I currently have 10 shares. If I max out on NVIDIA, I would have 40 shares. So it's 10 shares per book. They've been sort of moving sideways. They haven't really done much in the last 3 months. So hopefully this move here is a breakout move. If we zoom in, you can see that we have a fresh cross of the fast moving average above the slow moving average. We clearly have a big move today. Even though it's a red candle, it's still a big move. It gapped up. So I am looking to purchase 1 book. I do not have enough money to buy anything more than 1 book. So we're looking at probably going to use all of our money on these 10 shares that's available. So we are looking to purchase here at $206. Okay, not there. We're looking here. All right, 206.85. Just sold one of my day trading stocks. So right now I've got $2,400. So I have roughly $200 left in order to purchase some other stocks. So take a look at my list and see what I might be able to get for $200. FXI, that is an ETF for Chinese stocks. So FXI, again, that's an ETF for Chinese stocks. I currently have 5 shares, which is 1 book. So that would I max out with FXI at 20 shares. Zoom in here. You can see yesterday we had a cross of the fast moving average above the slow moving average, and that is an indication. That is a point in which I would like to be all in and maxed out. I couldn't max out with NVIDIA, but I should be able to. Let's see it. 5 times 4, I can get 1 book. So I can get 1 more book. So we're going to get 5 shares at 1 book at 40.97. Or not. We'll try 40.98. So we'll just buy market and cancel that one. So I got those at 40.97 instead of 40.98. That's a 5-cent savings. All right, so now that I just purchased an additional book, I have 2 books now. 10 shares. This was the book that I had waiting to be triggered and sold for my day trading purposes, but I'm going to cancel that. And now I have the book that I just purchased will become the book that becomes my day trading stock. And anytime I buy any stock for whatever reason, that immediately becomes a day trading stock. The only time I stop trading my day trading strategy for that particular stock is if price drops down below all of my purchase prices. So I've added FXI, the ETF for China, their large cap ETF, to my day trading chart tracker. And with that, I'm done. I only have $41 left. So I've bought back in on all of my day trading stocks, and I have nothing else to do. So I have completely extinguished all of the money that I have available to actually purchase any stocks on the buy side. So selling and buying, we're now done. All right, I've got 4 stocks going to earnings. This last one is Chipotle Mexican Grill. And Google, Meta, and Microsoft, they all report at 5 minutes after 4. Chipotle Mexican Grill reports at 10 minutes after 4. We currently have 30 seconds remaining until we actually get a report. So hopefully we'll see some activity. I'm hoping that everything is green. Right now, Google, they've got a pretty good head start. They've already jumped up almost $30. Now, I don't know if they released early. Let's see. I'll refresh my earnings whispers. They may have released a little bit early, but keep an eye on both Microsoft and Meta at the right at 5 minutes after 4 in 3 seconds, and we'll see how immediate the price action is. We just saw Meta shift down and then back up. The other 2 really aren't moving. Maybe they reported a little bit earlier. Then 5 minutes after 4, Meta, unfortunately, is going down. So I'm glad that I sold one of my shares of Meta. Microsoft is going down. Unfortunately, price did not spike up to capture this before it made its move. And Google, I did sell 4 shares of Google, so we're missing out on those. But you can see that the reason I like to de-risk prior to earnings is that if price moves against me, I can put that money to better use to buy stocks that are actually going up. Since my strategy is a longs holding investment style, if any stock that I have that once price moves below my purchase price, I hold it. I hold it until it sells, whether that's a week, a month, or even a year later. I've got stocks that I've been holding for over a year. There's another day trading stock that just sold. So I'll go ahead and take care of some of my day trading stocks. I'll put the video on hold and come back in a few minutes, and we'll see how price action is on Google, Meta, and Microsoft. I'll come back in before Chipotle, which is in less than 4 minutes. All right, we've got a little bit less than 30 seconds for Chipotle. Let's get a little countdown window up. So we've got 20 seconds left for Chipotle. You can see that, well, I'll remove that. We've got 15 seconds. You can see Chipotle has a little bit moved down. Google is still up. Microsoft and Meta are both still down. So we shouldn't be very long now, less than 10 seconds. Hopefully Chipotle is good earnings, but we'll see. Nothing happening yet for Chipotle. Well, that should be, we're at 410, so apparently they are priced to perfection. Price to perfection typically means that, wait, there's a little bit of movement. That during earnings, that if there's not much move, then everything was priced in. Oh, there we go. Just jumped up. So that's looking good. I've got 50 shares, and the 50 shares that I bought of Chipotle, I bought at $58.30, and I've been holding on to these for quite a while. Again, part of my strategy. I don't really care if the market goes down on any particular stock because I'm acting as a long-term investor. I just happen to day trade. But for purposes of these videos and trying to teach you and show you that you can be profitable, I also swing trade. But we'll look at this for a few more seconds. We'll see what direction Chipotle, if Chipotle chooses a direction within the next 30 seconds or so. Otherwise, I'll just move on and continue with the remainder of the video. I'm already looking at 35 minutes. But at least if you haven't seen earnings, how price moves and how volatile price is when earnings are released for an individual stock, you were able to see some of that here. Some of the biggest moves are before or after the actual earnings are reported, depending on whether they are good or bad. So looks like Chipotle is not going to work out for me, and it's just possibly going to go down a little bit further. Hopefully next quarter will be better. All right, that's enough of the earnings. Going to go back to my trading chart, the day Tradestor. Okay. Going back to the S&P 500, and you can see that on the S&P 500 for today, we actually opened higher. We reached an all-time high. However, we did not close at an all-time high. We ended up dropping lower than yesterday's closing candle. The market really did not have a huge reaction based on the information from Jerome Powell from either the actually interest rate cut by 25%, quarter of a point, and nor did it have a huge reaction during his due to his speech or anything that he said in his speech. So it's just a red day, down day, and the bull keeps running. Now it's time to take a look at all of the actions that I did today on my account. Some of this you might want to take into consideration and use this in your own strategies. So I sold Johnson & Johnson, Monster Beverage, Google, Meta, and Cardinal Health. I placed sell orders on United Airlines, Datadog, ServiceNow, and I removed sell orders on Sherwin-Williams, the ETF XLY, Axon, DocuSign, Boston Scientific, and I placed sell orders on Kraft Heinz, Toast, CSGP, CoStar Group, Neurosciences, which is NBIX. I placed sell orders on Meta, Microsoft. I removed sell orders on Starbucks, Teladoc, Eli Lilly, Roblox, LHX, which is L3 Harris, LNG, and Merck, MRK. And I bought NVIDIA, and the ETF for China is FXI. I show all the trades that I do on placing and removing sell orders because maybe some of you are making some of the trades and sort of just following along with me. So if you happen to make trades and buy or sell trades, stocks rather, buy and sell stocks, making trades the same day that I do, then this would be relevant and pertinent information to continue to follow me. Now, these are also that can be used if you're following me and copying my trades. However, you can certainly use this information on the sell side and the buy side because they're both triggered basically by actual price action. That is a little bit more easy to understand and clearly see. And just remember, if you are following me, I'm not an expert. None of this is financial advice. You've just happened to come across my videos and you started to follow me because I gained your trust. And you did the research to see that my past trades and previous videos are real and true trades, and they are mostly profitable. At any rate, do with this list what you will. I provide it to at least help you make better decisions in your trading journey. All right, with that, it's now time to take a look at my realized gains and the portfolio performance to date. All right, so today's realized gains is a little bit different. It shows that I had a total gain of $990.55. Now, $66 of that was through my swing trading strategy. The rest is through day trading. And unfortunately, I did have to sell some stocks at a loss. I didn't realize that I had been holding on to inverse NVIDIA for quite some time. It's probably been over a year. I didn't realize I had these. So I did sell at a loss. I don't typically sell anything at a loss, but I had a strategy a long time ago where I would buy NVIDIA as it went up and I'd buy NVIDIA as it went down. I'd buy the inverse because I don't really short. So I could buy an ETF that's an inverse. But I did learn a long time ago that I just don't do well on the inverse side. And I adjusted my strategy to include just only longs, basically. So I did not realize that these were actually in my portfolio. So I actually do have a loss of $393.46 for selling these inverse NVIDIA, NVDS. And I'm showing you this because I've been telling you that the realized losses that show up are an accounting issue, and in most cases, almost all of the videos, that is true. It just comes down to how Charles Schwab does their accounting compared to my accounting. If you're new to my videos, I try very hard not to sell anything at a loss. If price falls down below a purchase point, then if I have any stocks to sell, then I will sell a stock that is actually purchased at a lower price than the current sell price. And if there are stocks that are higher, that I purchased at a higher price than the current sell price, I put those in a sell order. And if you watch my videos and you go back and you watch my videos prior to this, you'll see that that is what I do. Charles Schwab is last in and first out. There's no way around that. I can choose last in, first out, or first in, first out. In either case, it is not as accurate as my accounting. And I put this in because I want to be as truthful and honest with you. This is a actual loss. So $393 of this $469 is realized losses. The other $80, however, is not. So I have roughly $600 in realized gains. Now, in reference to my portfolio performance as of close of date yesterday, starting from the day that this account was open on August 19th, I am performing at 10.05% compared to the S&P 500 at 7.71%, and the account in which all of the assets came from January 1 to the close of the account on August 18th, I was performing at 16.26% compared to the S&P 500 at 10.54%. And when we total both of these up, I am performing year to date at 26.31% compared to the S&P 500 at 18.25, which means I am outperforming the S&P 500 by 8.06%. So if you have any questions about anything that you saw in the video that maybe was not explained as clearly as it could have been explained, please leave a comment, reach out, and I will answer the questions as best as I can. And for that, I've reached the end of my day, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day.